Hi, I'm Michele Ramazza, extreme kayaker since 10 years. With this video, I'd like to explain you the paddling technique. These ideas are good for sea kayaking, creeking, slalom and tourism. First of all, we need to understand which are the two fundamental elements of this movement. The first element is the torso rotation. The torso rotation begins from the hips, which are moved by the leg movement into the kayak. The feet press on the footrest help the hips rotation. From the hips, the rotation proceeds to the shoulder. The second fundamental element is the arm movement. Despite this movement looks very easy, it's important to pay a lot of attention because it's far away to be instinctive. The movement starts with the arm extended and finishes with the hand in front of our shoulder. Everything gets much more complicated when we have the shaft into the hands. The angle between the arms and the shaft needs to be free. The wrist cannot allow the mobility. A good digital hold is the key for that movement. The wrist needs to stay in line with the arm. With a normal right hand pedal, the right hand controls the position of the blade into the water. The arm stays perpendicular to the blade all the time. On the left side instead, the shaft rotates into the left hand. A very common beginner mistake is to block the left hand on the shaft. Aiming of combining these two elements in a fluid movement, we need to learn one element at a time. My advice is to start training on the arm movement first. Now time to jump on the boat and start focusing on the arm movement. We need to make sure that the upper arm is very straight when we push. The hands finish the movement in front of our hips, and the elbow does not overtake the body. It's also important to pay attention at the angle between the arm and the shaft. As we saw, the wrist needs to be in line with the arm. The fingers allow the shaft to bend into the hand. A very common mistake is to bring the hand behind the hips. This mistake is generally caused by an angle block between the arm and the shaft. When you are learning the arm movement, you can try to not overtake the middle line of the kayak with your hand. The second step is to focus on the torso rotation and learn this movement properly. To better understand this movement, you can block your arms and focus only on the torso rotation. As you can see here, the arm doesn't bend and the shoulder needs to be parallel to the shaft. It's a very common mistake to do a similar movement without using the torso rotation. In this case, the shoulders are not parallel to the shaft, and the movement is powered by the shoulder articulation. The right movement instead is powered by the hips and torso rotation. Abdominal and leg muscle are involved to create the power for this movement. Only after we learn these two movements, we can try to combine them to create a fluid and efficient movement. This phase requires a lot of exercise and training. According to your kayak discipline, one element can be more important than the other one. The torso rotation is very powerful, but tends to change the direction of the boat. Thus, is more used in discipline like flat water and sea kayaking when the boat tends to go straight by itself. The aim is to create a fluid and efficient paddling, combining the power coming from the body and from the arms. To do this, we need to check few things while we are paddling. The paddling style that I'm gonna show you now is good for slalom and creeking. One of the first feedback we need to look for is the position of the hands that push the pedal. The hand can slightly overtake the middle line of the boat. The arm and the wrist should be in a straight line pointing forward. The angle of the shaft and the arm should look like this. The torso rotation brings the shoulder a little bit backwards. We can therefore consider the hips as the limit of our hands' movements. In the pushing phase, the angle between the torso and the arm need to be open. In this way, the arm is ready for the next stroke. If we close that angle, the movement does not appear fluid anymore. To better transfer the power from the paddle to the kayak, we need to keep the paddle in front of us and not beside. I'm going now to show you another paddling style that involves more the torso rotation and is good for longer kayak. What you have seen now is my personal interpretation of the paddling style. This idea has been developed in years of training in flat water and white water. This concept have also been successfully used to teach to advanced and beginner paddlers. I really hope this video helped you, and you're welcome to check in the techniques section of my website for other video tutorial about kayaking technique.